Hey there everyone, it's Rachael Merrick from Merrick Makings in Australia. So excited to be here. I am joining Tracy Bish for a mini catalogue collab. So we actually have a mini catalogue and a celebration that has come out, and today we are going to showcase the Storybook Moments suite, in particular Storybook Friends is the stamp set, and of course the matching DSP. So what we are doing for our collab is actually using the very handy sketches that are in here. They are on page, I think it's page 12 in the catalogue. So we have divvied up these sketches just to show you how easy it is to use them with the new products. So I'm going to make a start on mine, and my very first tip for you is if you are using a matting piece of cardstock, you can actually cut the center of that out. So on this particular card, I'm going to use this banner, and I've cut it out of the center of the white cardstock mat that I have got for my DSP. You won't see it in the end, but this is a great way to save some of your cardstock, and of course that just means more money for more supplies. So a very simple, straightforward sketch. You will see it in a couple of times in the video that I'm showing you, but what I did really love about this stamp set is it's a bit of a nod to an old set of childhood memory books. I loved I know we're probably not supposed to say it, but I did love Peter Rabbit as a child. So that's what has inspired me to purchase this. You will see that I am using it in a variety of ways. So the very first image I'm going to stamp is this little I'm going to say a boy rabbit. He has got a bow tie on. Doesn't mean that it's necessarily a boy, but I'm going to make it a little male rabbit in this by colouring his bow tie blue. I am going to use the technique of masking. So pretty much I've just stamped the bottom section of this image onto a post-it note on the sticky part in particular. Cut it out quite roughly. It doesn't have to be perfect, but on the line. No white border this time, and you're going to stick that on top of your already stamped image, and that's going to stop this next like cobblestone wall that I've stamped over the top, and it actually makes it look like your rabbit is sitting in front of it. So I have sped up my colouring for you. Colouring is something that I do love to do. I haven't been doing it as much lately, but my little tips for you are start where already the shaded sections sort of indicated on your stamp, and use your darker colours. Go back in with all your lighter colours and blend. Now I've used a variety of colours here, including, let me see, I think I've got bronze on there as a darker colour, then of course crumb cake. I've used a little bit of smoky slate in there as well, and perhaps even a bit of pecan pie on the lighter side. I don't think I actually wrote down which ones these are, and all of my videos don't give you exact measurements, and the reason for that is I'm trying to really encourage you to go and look at the sketches and interpret them in your own way. A sketch doesn't have to be used as perfectly as what the sketch is. It is up to interpretation, so you can have a lot of fun playing with them. They are a jump starting point for you. So here we go. I'm going to add a sentiment, which I'm going to use that boho blue, which is a colour that's come direct from the DSP, so it does match in very well to the DSP that I have used as that background. And I'm using the sentiment Easter greetings. So this will be an Easter card that I'll be sending out, and I am doing the ever so magical heat embossed sentiment with my white embossing powder. Now I did use a bit of a distressing technique, just the edge of your scissors along strips of this wild wheat. Wild wheat is not a colour I use a lot of, but it is featured in this DSP, so I did grab some scraps out, and I'm going to be stamping these with exactly the same cobblestone background that I used, or sorry, wall that I used on my little rabbit image earlier. I'm going to use Versamark for that, so it's not so dark, but it is more of a watermark sort of look. And just eyeballing the measurements here, I'm making 2 strips and layering those up to go on the card. And this is going to anchor that image to my card. So this card does come together very quickly towards the end because you've sort of created all these different elements that come into one as a part of the sketch. So dimensional dots, of course, just to add a little bit of character and depth to this this card and my sentiment as well. Now you'll notice I did add some Tombow glue to that. The rest of the banner is put up with dimensional dots, and you can see there is this sketch there. So very similar. I didn't use an oval, I used the banner cut instead. Now, part of our collaboration, Tracy and I decided we're going to do the tags in the sketches too. Tags are not really my thing. I don't seem to create many, but I have really enjoyed doing this whole series that I've got coming up this week with Tracy. So in saying that, please make sure each day that you follow the links and go across to Tracy's fabulous page. We have different styles in how we interpret sketches and what we like to do on our cards. So hopefully we've given you a good variety throughout our 6 or 7 days of creations that you can use and refer back to those sketches in the catalogue. So this comes together with one of the little, there are some die cuts. As a part of the DSP, there are die cut images, and this one is of the duck. And you'll see that I've done a fair bit of ink blending with my blending brushes there. And I have tried to follow as best I can the sketch for this one, which included quite a lot of circles. So I have used those nested essential circles there. Of course, you could use a whole heap of different sorts of shapes. It doesn't have to be circles, and you can of course trim them off like I have just to make it a little bit neater. And there is another one of those little die cuts, and it is the like a little picket fence, which is gorgeous. And of course it was a little bit too big for my tag, so again just trimming it back. Now I have used wild wheat and boho blue yet again, a nod to what the colours are in the DSP, and of course in my little tiny duck here. So I am going to pop him up with some dimensions, or her I should say, with some dimension dots as well, and create this tag. Now these tags that I am creating for this whole series, I have popped in a completely different box to all of my cards, and my aim is to use them on some little gifts that I do tend to give to friends and colleagues throughout the year. So I've tried to keep them fairly generic, and I have bought some plain white little gift bags to hang them off so that they don't they're not as in your face, I suppose. But for this particular one, I am going to use a brown paper bag. I'm actually going to use it very shortly, and it just says hello friend because it's going to a friend of mine just as a little surprise gift. So this one will go onto a brown paper bag that I already had in my stash, and I am using some of that DSP from the card as well to finish off the bag so it all matches in. Very simple to finish off with some of that basic white twine, and there you go. You can see that the tag and the card all match the sketches. Thank you so much everybody for joining us. Don't forget to pop over to Tracy's, and we'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you then. Bye bye.